Hello everyone, welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Vancouver, Washington, USA. We're going to be making a beautiful card today, but before we get started, housekeeping first. All the description of what I'm using, products, sizes, everything will be below. There's a link to my online store below, my email address, a link to my new Facebook group. It's a small group, but we'd love to have you join us. Also remember to subscribe and like to YouTube to help me grow in the YouTube world. Also, this month, I am offering a special. Anybody remember these? This is Wonderful World stamp set, brand new, never opened, and a brand new package of DSP. I'm offering this to somebody. Everybody that places a $45 order, that's of Stampin' Up! Product, not including tax and shipping, will get placed into a drawing, and the sale ends on November 30th, and I will then draw a winner and let the winner know, and then it will be announced in early December. So, if you would like this, place a $45 order on my online store, and you could be entered to win this. So, on with the project. This is the beautiful Painted Christmas paper that was in last year's catalog, and it returned. I'm not going to go through the whole package because I'm sure most of you have seen it, but it's got beautiful Christmas paper. We're using this one today. I thought that was quite beautiful. So that's what we're going to be using. And let me show you what we are making. We're using Christmas Season and Christmas to Remember as our stamp sets. And we'll go through parts of those in a minute. But what we are making is this beautiful center easel card. It goes up just like that. I'm going to hold it up nice and close so you can see it. This is very easy to, there's a place here on the top so you can write your message. It goes just like that. I think it's quite beautiful. And this is what I'm going to show you how to make. And then I have a little blob on my envelope, but we won't worry about it. The post office will do more than that. And it says magic is in the air. So let's get started. Let's get the pieces out, and I think we're going to do a little bit of stamping first, and then we'll do some die cutting. So this is Crumb Cake and Early Expresso. These are for, and there's a couple more in here. These are for die cutting, and we'll be doing those in a bit. I've already cut this piece out to help save a little bit of time. And this is out of the Christmas season. They have lots of frames and stuff in there. I love this one. This piece is Evening Evergreen, and we're going to be cutting out our greenery with that. Oop. Volunteer here. Got our envelope. We have some white scrap paper for doing some stamping. And these are our pieces for inside of to make the card, and we'll go through those in a few minutes. So let's get the stamping done first. So the first thing we need is our saying that is going to go inside our card, and it's also our stand holder. And the colors we're using in this, you're going to cringe when you hear this. We're using Pool Party, Real Red, and Soft Succulent. I was really quite surprised when I put these two together. They look gorgeous together, and it's quite pretty. So we're going to start with Soft Succulent, and we're going to do our greeting here. It says, "Have a holly jolly Christmas." I'm just going to put that right in the center there. Oh, perfect. And we'll be die cutting that. Set that over in our die cut pile. I'm going to go ahead and stamp our envelope, and I did that in Real Red. corner like that. So we'll get that out of the way. And next we're going to do our, I'm going to use this one here for now. I'm only going to show you one. I did cut a few of these out already. I'm only going to show you how to do one of these. It's really quite easy. There is a die that cuts the whole thing out. So this is Soft Succulent. Oop, I do need a mat though. Looks like I need to cover and recover my mats too. They're looking pretty shabby. So I'm going to stamp that there. And then if you grab the real red, you look at this here, and you look at these. If you, the two that are on top of each other this way, if you look, they go right, fit that direction right in there. I'm going to try to do this, not get my head too far into the camera. Oh, pretty good. So that is how you do the berries. Now we're done with these two colors. And we need Pool Party. And I made one of these, but I still need two more. And this is a sprig that is in the it's in the Season's Greetings. But the reason I liked it, excuse me, I'm going to show you the back, is because this is the sprig that is in this paper here. You look really close, and it's in Pool Party, which I was really surprised. So we're going to be cutting those two pieces out. So we got a little die cutting pile here. And then we also need to cut one of these. So we've got our paper there for that. We'll do that. And the other thing we need to do is we need to make our pine cones. Now I'm going to grab some adhesive sheets. It's a brand new pack. I'm going to open this one. Maybe I should have grabbed it out before I started. You get 12 adhesive sheets in a pack, so they will last you a long time. So this has got the tear off side, and this side doesn't. So what you're going to do is, I like to take my dies that I'm going to be cutting out now. We've got in the Christmas to Remember set, you get these dies to cut the pine cones. These are the detailed, and we'll do those in early Expresso, and these will be in Crumb Cake. But I need to know how much paper I need. So I can get all of them on that sheet, so we don't need that extra piece. And what I'm trying to do is figure out how much we can get those on there. I don't want to use any more of this adhesive back than I have to. Then you want to start a corner on the side that does not have the, there's little places where you can pull the adhesive. But we want to start on the other side. This is probably the most time-consuming part of this. And I know if you bend the corner a little bit, it works better. You know, they don't usually work this bad. They usually come right off when I want them, but this one's not going to, just because I'm filming. You also take your little tool there. It's pulling up the wrong side. Let me try this side. This is because I'm doing on there. You know that, right? Just does not want to separate for me. Well, we're going to use this pull side and I'll deal with it. You can do either side, really. It's very, very sticky. So you only want to pull back what you need and adhere your paper to it. And I'll pull off the next one. Just what I need. And then I'm going to put this right back in there like that. And close that back up. And then I'm going to take my scissors. Grab my big scissors. I don't usually take and cut with my snips on the glue. And I'm just going to cut right along with that. Just like that. So you're not using much of it. So peel that off. And now we've got some sticky here. So I don't want extra sticky going through too much of it going through the die cutting machine. So let's get a little cranky out here. And we'll do the bases. Well, actually, we probably could do all of them at one time. So we're going to put these in like that. I'm very careful. And these guys. Like that. Living dangerously here. Okay, so now we'll get these out of here. You just have to be gentle, and because you do have two thicknesses now. You have adhesive and your paper. Oh, these are falling out. That's okay. Set that off to the side. So those all came out. That one came out. I'll grab my pokey tool and let's go ahead and move this, because the next die cutting bit we're doing, actually, let's go ahead and cut out the other little small pieces, then we'll come back to these. We have our verse. And we're doing another label. It's a smaller one. Grab a Post-it. Last Post-it on that one. I don't want it shifting on me. Because to do the large pine cones, or pine boughs, we have to use the big machine. And so there's our label. And so there's a little, this lines up right like that. And we'll do this one here. Do a little haircut on the paper so it's not so much going through. And of course I have it too straight for a little cranky. You know, she only does this when I'm on camera. So there's a holly berry. And like I said, I cut out a few more already. And one of our spears of green, or pull party. And we have to cut out one more. And then we can put this one away. Go. Put those back in my dish so I don't lose them. And get this out of our way. Boy, shifted that way up. So we'll put these over here where I've got the rest. And we'll go back to sorting out our pine cones here before we do the pine boughs. So there's those two out. And just have to do a little poke in here because with the adhesive it has a tendency to want to stick a little bit. It just takes a second. Sure makes it easier than trying to glue this little piece in. Okay, that's good enough because most of them will pop out when we go to remove the adhesive. Just giving them a little bit here. So there's 2 small pine cones and 1 large pine cone in here when you have the dies. Okay, let's see who pulls out what. I'm going to get my silicone mat out here to do this on, just in case I don't line it up right now. We're going to leave this one flat on there for now. And we have to grab the back of the adhesive and pull. And so like I said, a lot of them just popped right out. There's one that did not. So catch that one right now. And then you just line it up on the bottom here like this. And you have a nice sticker. And we have a nice sticker here too. So there's the other little one. Let's get that one. Make sure all of them popped out. Yeah, they did. Line it up. There's number 2. And here's the third one. The other reason I'm using silicone mat is because when I get done, I can just take this and dump it right into the trash. And they all came out. And they line up really nicely. You can see exactly where they go. Just like that. Let's get these little pieces out of the way. That's why I should have done it on the silicone mat to start with. Shake all this off. And now we're going to move the pine cones out of the way, and we're going to cut this very large piece right here. So we do need the big machine. Put that right in the middle. Like I said, all the dimensions of the paper are listed in the description below. including the dimension for this one. And, ooh, let's give it one more. This is so detailed. It does cut out really good, but I would definitely, we're going to be on the safe side. We're going to roll it back. I would give it a couple times through to make sure you've got it clear through and you have a good cut on this. I have had to recut a couple because I didn't have a good cut on it. Oh, now we do. Now, the first one I did, I had to redo because I didn't run it through a couple times. And where the pine cone pieces are on here, it got stuck. So now I'm going to grab my little mat here. And I'm going to grab my take your pick tool with the little spongy on it. And first I'm going to gently pull off what I can. But be careful because these are very thin branches. But it does come off. You just have to just work at it a little bit. Oh, there's the outside piece. You just have to gently pull at it. Don't be in a hurry. That's all I can say. There we go. So we got a little cleaning up to do. Now, when you're done, remember you want to make sure that you clean all your stuff up. I'm not going to make you watch me clean it, but I will clean it out before I put it away. So now what we need to do is take out the bigger pieces. There's a little bit of weeding to do on this. So I debated about doing this off camera, but I thought you might want to see it's not bad. And we only need pieces of it. And we need, so the parts, this is the first corner we're going to use, is this piece here. Because this is a large and these are two small pine cones. And then we're just going to use branches from the other parts of it. So you don't have to really weed it all. So I'm going to cut off the part we're going to use right at the front. We're just going to snip here. Just look where the branches connect, just like that. Now these, we're not going to use whole pieces. We don't need to weed all this because we're going to use branches out of this. So we're going to set it off to the side until we're ready to put the thing together. Now, you can go ahead and weed all these pieces out if you wanted, but you don't have to. Because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be layering your pine cones. So look where your pine cones are going. This one's going to go there. And this one's going to go there. So we need to weed out these few right on this side. So, you know, look at what you've got, and you may not have to weed all of it. And by weeding, I mean as you're poking out the stuff. Just do the areas you absolutely have to. But you can see right where the pine cones go on here. And once you put the adhesive on here, they'll stick right on, so it won't make any difference. But you want to make sure that you... Actually, this one goes this way, sorry. That one goes like that. Got it upside down. That one goes like that. And that one goes like that. So that's all the weeding. You don't have to do the centers of them. Now, if you're using the whole thing for a display, you would have to, but we're not, so we don't have to. So I think it's time to build the card. So we are using Pool Party. And this is our standard 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. are going to need our trimmer, because we're going to do a little trimming. So whichever piece is going to be your top or your front, you're going to put it into the trimmer, and I'm going to put it right here to the 1-inch mark here on this side. And I'm going to score down to 4 1/4 to our fold line. And I also can see where the 4 1/4 is right here on my trimmer. Now you can move it this way and just do 1 1/2 on this side. Should be 1 1/4 right there. Oop, I was off a bit. Problem of doing it through a camera, but it will be fine. We got a little extra tear. No, it won't be fine. Excuse me for one moment. I messed it up big time. And so let me grab another piece of pull party. I do make mistakes, and I did a big one. Sorry. So let's start this again. We need a piece that's 5 1/2. And since I've got this out, we're going to go ahead and use this score. 4 1/4. Just give it a fold so I have where it is. I'm going to trim at 1 inch. I'm going to turn this so I can see where my 1 1/4 is this time. So there we are. And then we're going to go to 1 inch on this side. And we're going to score down to 4 1/4. Like that. Like I said, sometimes, and I was not even following my own advice, turn the paper trimmer so you can see what you're doing. It makes life much easier. So the first thing we have to do is, looks like I may need a new blade. It's getting a little rough there. It's time you need a new blade. So first we need to grab some glue. And we're going to adhere these 2 panels down. Like that. And like that. And then we have little panels, and like I said, all the dimensions are going to be listed below of the paper. And we're going to adhere our DSP to these 2 little panels. Then we will attach them. Once you got all the pieces cut out, this card goes together very quickly. Now I forgot to make 1 extra score line, and I'm going to show you where to make that next. Because I covered up my instructions, which I will get out here so I can see them. We'll get the trimmer out one more time. On this top piece, we need to put this in the trimmer. Now let's go this way. And you need to line this up here at the top. You can see the 4 1/4, and we need to score at 2. Bring this over and over to 2 1/8. You can pull it back up. You got enough room now. And score that. And fold that, give it a nice burnish, because the next piece is the piece that's going on here. Now, this one is, oh, excuse me, it is 3 1/4 by 4. And then you want to just manually fold this in half and burnish it, like I've already done here. And then what you want to do is you want to lay it on top here and line up the 2 score lines and center it in the center and put it on. That was the easiest way to do this one. I tried to measure out all the things and I was like, why go to that much work? Just fold it in half because that's where you need it to be. So there is that part of the card. Next we'll do the inside pieces. This is matte that we're going to put in the front. I think I wanted to go this way. And these 2 pieces are going to go inside here. So we'll put the white one in first. Just like that. Actually, I want this side. Just like that one. And this one, and it's just gonna overlap slightly the white one. Now here's our stopper. We're not going to put that in till last because we don't want any bulk when we're trying to make the top. So now we've got this piece here that we die cut, and these die cuts. And we have our blue, and we need 2 of the holly berries. And we need 3 of these. And we need some Winkostella. I want to take a little Winkostella and put a little Winkostella on the red. And it'll blend the red a little bit, but that's okay. Sort of fills in the white area. Give a little spark. I know you can't really see the Winkostella on there, but I can. I'm going to go wipe that off, make sure I don't have a red on my pen. And now we're going to start building. So we're going to bring this back over, and this is going to set about like that. So you can sort of visually see where your center is going to be. But what you can do is take a pencil and just sort of mark where your center is. No one's going to see it. This is going to end up getting covered, but it will help you line this up. So this is the first thing we're going to lay down, is this. And we are going to lay it about like that. And I'm going to just use a little bit of glue back here. Just putting it on the larger pieces just to hold it. Oh, skip that. Skip what I said. I just did the wrong thing. We're not using glue back here. Like I said, we're putting dimensionals back here. The glue won't hurt anything. You're going to put dimensionals on as many of these little places as you can see here. And we'll add more dimensionals in a minute. I'm going to flip him over. I'm going to grab my silicone mat to build this on. Then we're going to go ahead and put these on here. So let me see. The big one goes here. Don't worry about the sticker. It'll be fine. You can see where they lay in here into the branches. And the green goes here. I made this card about a week ago and I forgot how I assembled it. Oop, need to go up a little bit. That's good enough. And the last piece. And you could put these on before you put dimensionals on. Because what you're going to come back do is add more dimensionals to the back of this. But we're going to add some other pieces first. Next we need to add, actually let's add our dimensionals and then we'll add our pieces. That would be easier. Because once you get this on here, it's easier to decide where you want your additional pieces. That should be enough. Okay. Now I want my big one to go up, and you can see where you can see where you want to put that out because you've put that little dot there. Now we can go ahead and stick this in, and you can use glue for this now. And you can see where you want them to go. I think I want one right behind these guys here, like that. And I'm going to put a little more glue down underneath here. Now, oop, my sticky fingers. Keep in mind, you need to keep on checking. You put that on, you got to make sure you stay inside of your card frame. And so let's get these other two pieces on. They're just going underneath here. And if they're too long, you can always whack off a little piece. We have lots of room there to play with. Boy. Just behind there like that. Now we'll get one here on the bottom. Like that. And we'll put a few holly berries in here. Now the holly berries, I'm going to grab glue dots because I want to actually stick them behind. So I'm putting the glue dot on the front of the holly berry because I actually want to stick the holly berry. Let's see. Up underneath and attach him to the pine cone. And then I still will take a dab of glue right there to anchor him down a little bit so he's not quite at an angle. You can play around with this whichever way you want to put these in. And then we'll need another little holly berry up here. And I'm going to clip off a little bit of his stem. So I want him right about there. Grab a glue dot on the front. Whoa. And just take and put him right up in there. So, and then without him, we're going to leave up. So, and then when I looked at this, I thought it needed something else. It needed some ribbon or something. So I grabbed the Satin Edge ribbon, which is the gold and very vanilla. And I'm going to make some little spikes. So they're about 2 3/4 inches roughly. I'm going to make 3 of them. Very simple to make. Back to glue dots. When you're making flower bouquet, paper bouquets, they're the best. So put a glue dot on one end and just close the other end like that. And I should have done these up ahead of time, but and then this one here. Okay, so we're going to tuck these in now. And we're going to tuck one right about there. So I'll put a glue dot on the bottom of it. You have to decide if it's hooking to the pine cone or hooking to the base of the card. This one's going to hook to the base of the card. And I'm going to lift the pine up, needles up a little bit. And just stick it in there like that. And this guy we're going to put right about here, like that. And one right about here, if I can let go of it. Stuck to my finger. Now, back to those pine boughs that we made. I wanted a little bit more green around there. So what I went in with my paper snips, I know I got quite a mess out here, don't I? And I just looked around here. This would make a nice pine bough. So I snipped off a piece. You know, just like when you're making a wreath or something at home. Just, I don't need that little piece. And maybe one more. Just take off what you want off of it. And use these to add. So I'm going to put a little glue on the back side of this. Maybe I'm going to put a little glue on the back side of this. There we go. I'm going to put a little more green back there. Actually, I don't like this piece right there. Actually, this one is a little long. If you don't like something, just take it off. It's like doing a flower arrangement or making a wreath or something. You just move the things where you want them. So let's take a look at him here. I think we need one more sprig up there, but not a big one. Actually, that will work. Because we still have a lot more sprigs we can get. Here we go. Okay, time to mount it on the card. There, it's very pretty. So we're going to put this on here. Now you could use dimensionals if you want. I chose not to. Many of my cards have to go clear across the country and or around the world. And so I tend to not do too many. Oh, and as you can see, there's a little stamping on the back of this because this is one of my little mistakes. But I didn't really mind it on the back because I thought it just sort of added some character. But you may mind. So anyhow, we're going to take and line this up right here. Sort of hold my hand where I want to put glue. And put that on there. See, I know the person's getting this card, so she'll laugh about the stamping on the back. Because she's also a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so. She'll just know I wasn't wasting paper. So that'll have to dry, so we'll just let that flip over like that. And we need to put our Holly Jolly Christmas, which is our stopper here. And I have a little side here, so we'll do a little quick measuring here. And the side that's going up, so it's that one there. If you have a, you know, any dimensionals will work on this, but if I have an end or side ready to go, I will use it And we're going to have one more here anyhow. I would use that on the edges because it really, on a stopper, really does make it a lot more secure, I think. It's my opinion. Ooh. Unless I tear the thing. Now we just got to get them all off. I know some of my Christmas videos are taking a little longer than I usually do, but, you know, sometimes Christmas is worth it. Especially if you want to make these cards for somebody very special. So, needed some more bling. You know, the ribbon wasn't quite enough, so I grabbed the champagne rhinestones. And I'll just use this. I don't have the other one up. And we're going to grab, use the small ones here. I'm going to put one here. Somebody will get that phone soon, I hope. And one here. So that gives us some extra rhinestones on there and some extra bling. It stands up like that. And that is a beautiful gift to give to anybody. And so that's our card for today. And of course, there's our envelope sitting over here quietly. Give it a try. Have some fun with this. Make your own spray of flowers, or in my case, pine cones. You could do the same thing with flowers. So have a good try at this. This is a wonderful card. And I will have everything down below in the description for you. And you have a wonderful day. Thank you very much for joining me.